Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Friday, December 21st, 1883. In the morning, the master and M were conversing alone under the bale tree. The master told him many secrets of spiritual discipline, exhorting him to renounce woman and gold. He further said that the mind at times becomes one's guru. Now, Master and M alone were there. Like this, Sri Ramakrishna has personally given instructions to almost all people who came in privacy, unknown to the others. Each according to their own path, according to their own station in spiritual life. We see here, because M is writing this down, he is able to put out what he experienced or what Master told him. But others, it is with them and has gone away with them. What all Master had taught to his disciples remain unknown to the world. So many paths, so many ways, we are at different gradations, levels of awareness and truth. It is like going to a school. So many children in different classes. And within the classes, you see number of varieties. Some belong to the lower understanding capability, some to the higher level of understanding, various levels of understanding, each gaining some marks. Some are getting within 10 marks, some 20, some 20 to 30. Like that, there is their capacity, and each teacher has to take them to the ultimate. They make all efforts to make that possible, but we see how much they can do, how much they can. Anyway, we others have lost that knowledge which was given to them, and how he managed, how he made them to realize God. Because it is direct instruction to him, he is putting it down. But what secrets Sri Ramakrishna told about spiritual life and world, he is not given here. The Master told him many secrets of spiritual discipline. For all things, the exhorting him to renounce woman and gold. That is, woman and gold is, woman includes all types of enjoyments which insist that your body. And gold is all that is stored and kept, earned or by any means acquired and kept for enjoyment. Suppose I have kept lot of money for service, it doesn't come in Kanchana. I have desired to live with devotees or live in solitude, I have desire, Kamana. That doesn't come under Kama. All desires do not come. That which are conducive to spiritual life, those who are needed for us, for our sustenance in this world, do not come under the kama. All others desires. I have sufficient food, I want tasty food. I have nourishing food, but I want tasty food. Then it becomes kama. If tasty food comes unasked, unchosen, unpreferred, undemanded, then it is all right. I want, I demand, I prefer. Then it becomes kama. So, kamini kanchana means we cannot include every type of desire also. And kanchana doesn't mean every type of wealth and possession. It is all that is good for the soul to evolve are welcome, though it falls within that category. But which is making a person bound to the world or makes him insisting upon that his body is given up. So that Sri Ramakrishna wants. Be free to do sadhana. And anything you are holding on to the world, you cannot release, you have not released yourself to advance in spiritual life. Give up those things. The common word is used, so it is very often very difficult to understand. Almost all householders think that kamini kanchana means giving up family and possessions and becoming an ascetic, and no, not at all. It is giving up desires and possessions which are going to be binding him and causes of suffering, and they stand in the path of God realization. He further said that the mind at times becomes one's guru. This is another need. When the mind is pure, see, the purity and the impurity is described, or we feel that the pure mind, when I say a pure mind, it is free from these desires, worldly desires. Now these desires keep the impurity. Now I have some worldly desire, and without releasing it, my mind cannot judge anything properly. Mind who is holding something which cannot understand. Anything holding in this world which becomes worldly part, that is when we see worldly part, detrimental to my spiritual evolution, then mind cannot properly judge. The judgment capacity between good and bad, right and wrong, favorable and unfavorable, all gets colored. Because mind is set on that. Mind has unique capacities to manipulate things and give a different version of the thing and console the guilt. This should not happen. When this guilt formation and hiding the truth within is there, then mind cannot become guru. But at times, mind becomes guru when he is not seeking anything from this world, but ready to sacrifice for the welfare of others and sacrifice his life for God alone. No ego. When somebody insults, it doesn't find insulted. There is no ego. Then the mind becomes Guru. It guides. Behind mind, if jnana is there, then also it guides as Guru. If bhakti is there, devotion to God, then also mind becomes Guru. Totally sacrificing its own everything for the welfare of others, not to keep any reserve for one's own self, also becomes Guru. In every time we see that Guru is always mind to take the part of Guru. It must be free from all holdings. It should not hold anything in the world. World should not hold it. There is, from either side, mind has freedom. And when the mind is free from worldliness and worldly grip, then mind is one. As it is natural, nature. It's a part of nature. I have color, I have painted it, I have given a force, kept a force in it to like and dislike. Now, this mind remains in tune with nature and tune with divine. It understands what divine is and where should I go. It understands what are the secrets of nature, what are the laws governing the human life, how I have to manipulate, how I have to manage, what is the way I have to go. It understands. Then it becomes Guru. Mind becomes Guru. After his midday meal, Master went to Panchavati wearing a beautiful yellow robe. 2 or 3 Vaishnava monks were there, clad in dress of their sect. In the afternoon, a monk belonging to the Vaishnava monks were there, clad in their dress of their sect. Monks are those who formally renounce the world for one's own welfare and welfare of the society. Sri Ramakrishna would feel greatly elated by such visions, and himself has put on yellow robe, and Vaishnava monks were there. Means at least a glance, a smile. The Lord smiling at some people out of pleasure, out of joy, out of respect, out of appreciation. Yes, my child, you have done well. So, it doesn't need a talk, just a glimpse, just a glance. He throws a glance. That is sufficient for that soul to reach the goal. Whenever we go to saints, our behavior, our inner character must be always such that their glance fall upon us. And we will be blessed forever, because the saintly people, Ramakrishna is avatara, incarnation, live apart. Even saints in the world, when you go with an empty heart, empty mind. Don't carry anything. Just a simple child, humble child, like that you go. And you will receive that grace, you will receive that blessing, and you will come back filled with joy. Some knots break, day-to-day knots break, and you will find great joy. In the afternoon, a monk belonging to sect of Nanak arrived. He was worshipper of formless God, Nirguna, Nirakara, formless God. Sri Ramakrishna asked him to meditate as well on God with form. He is a worshipper of God without form. He meditates on God without form. So all the bhajans he might sing, the prayers he might offer, everything is for the God without form. Sri Ramakrishna is asking him to worship or meditate. Meditate, Sri Ramakrishna says. Master asked him to meditate as well on God with form. This becomes expanded. It is expansion of consciousness and understanding, knowledge. When we follow, of course he is following his tradition of worship. He has entered a tradition which is Advaitic type, that is Nirguna Nirakara, God without form. When we enter God without form, we restrict ourselves and our knowledge to a particular understanding of God. When we look at other things, then we will understand what the reality is. When we see here, Sri Ramakrishna asking you to meditate on God with form, that the limitation that put on God as formless is breaking down. God is everything. He is with form, without form. Sri Ramakrishna used to say many more things which mind cannot reach. So this boundary which we have put to see the God through a particular framework drops off. It expands. We will not only realize our goal of seeing God without form, but understand what God is, independent of my understanding and realizations. Shankaracharya, you see, to re-establish Vedic path and Vedas and Hinduism, to re-establish, he strives, he takes up the Advaita, which cannot be challenged by anything. Because Advaita doesn't have conflict with anything, any path. It accepts all the paths. It accepts the Dvaita, it accepts the Vishishta Advaita, it accepts the Shaiva, Shakta, Vaishnava. But it says, as long as there is duality, it is not ultimate. Because if you say there is duality, one is limiting the other. When one absolute and ultimate comes into picture, there is no duality. This absence of duality because of the absolute. When we say absolute, there is nothing else. Even if one thing is there, now suppose space is absolute. If I say, if there is a thing called space elsewhere, anywhere, anytime, then the space is limited. It is not ultimate or absolute. So, joy is absolute. Bliss is absolute when you say nothing else other than that, nothing more other than that, no gradations. There is no duality at all. That is the ultimate. Absolute and ultimate shows there is no other thing of that variety or anything. It is one without a second. And when we say one without a second, there is no space and time. There cannot be space. When space is not there, we call it infinity. When the time is not there, we call it eternal. When one is there, it must be eternal, it must be an infinity. And it must be ocean of bliss, because there is no duality. So it itself is bliss. If duality comes, the enjoyer and enjoyed are there. Otherwise only the bliss alone. So this Sri Ramakrishna asking him to meditate on with form is making him break all the limitations and know what God without form really is. So when we say Advaita, it accepts all, everything, yes. They differentiate between the Pratibhasika Satya, Vyavaharika Satya, all are truth, and Paramarthika Satya. Dream is Pratibhasika, the mirage in the desert is Pratibhasika. We experience it, but it is not there. We experience the dream. I cannot say it is false. I have experienced, but when I wake up, it is not there. This is Satya. I have experienced is Satya, but the objects were Asatya. So, what I have experienced, because it is experienced, we say it Pratibhasika Satya. And the Vyavahara level, presently we are in the world, relative existence, we identified with this physical bodily existence, this truth that we are experiencing because of our identification with this physical body is called Vyavaharika Satya. And when Advaita comes into picture, it says these are all true, but lower truth. The ultimate truth is one without a second, the Brahman, the absolute, the ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. So we are in this clear understanding of the Advaita. When Sri Ramakrishna is asking him to meditate on with form also, he is breaking the limitation put on the absolute. He is breaking the limitation put on the ultimate. God is ultimate, God is absolute. So that when I say it's Advaita only, same Advaita experience he is experiencing as not being limited. This is the main difference I found in the Westerners using the term spirituality and divinity, and we speaking of the same word, divinity and spirituality. Here it is absolute, there it is relative. Spirit is relative, divinity is relative. When we say divinity with D capital, it is divine. Nothing else is there which can be compared with or identified with. It is one without a second. Divinity, spirituality. Then we use the term impersonal truth. So Sri Ramakrishna is breaking that, really know what that formless is. It can take any form. Then it's called formless. Form doesn't limit, like the fire which is in the space doesn't limit the space by any means. The master said to him, dive deep. One does not get precious stones by merely floating on the surface. God is without form, no doubt, but he also has form. Again, Sri Ramakrishna is clearing two things. Another thing is insisting us dive within. Most of the sadhakas, even after years of struggle, as if they are taking rest, they sit in meditation, trying to imagine and bring some picture of God in his form or without form, in their understanding or mind. Sit for some time and get up and go away. They are on the surface. They don't even touch the surface. They have created an understanding, psychological, mental understanding of what is God, and trying to meditate. Where is the reality? So, diving within, going deeper into one's own existence. So, this surface, sitting for some time, thinking of God and coming out, it will not yield you anything much. Not that it is useless, but it takes years and years of struggle, lives after lives of struggle. But within few years, if you want to realize God, if you want to transcend the nature, it is possible. The intensity and clarity, every step must be clear. I am diving within. Dive deep into, Sri Ramakrishna uses the term dive. Dive deep. You will not get anything on the surface, move about in the surface, get up and come. No. Turn inward slowly and dive within. One by one layer. You will have fine visions, unimaginable, cannot be compared with the physical world. Whole world is made up of consciousness, like dream world is made of mind. This one, that is made up of reality. So, merely floating. God is without form, no doubt, but He has form also. By meditating on God with form, one speedily acquires devotion. Then one can meditate on the formless God. How to enter? If you repeat ABCD every day and identify the letters for a long time, then you can read the words. Letters have nothing to do with the words or their meaning. The letters are only indicators of the world. Suppose I say, he is going, he is going, he is going. Now the term has meaning, is has the meaning, going has the meaning. But H-E doesn't give the meaning. These are letters. It doesn't mean he, that person. It doesn't give the meaning. Letters do not make even a word. If you know the letters, but without knowing letters, you cannot know the word. The word is the basis, and letters are just indicators of that. The letters are joined together to form a combination which represents an object, which is the artha, meaning of that word. Meaning of the word is the object. To tell the object, we are using the alphabets and words. Like that, here also, we go by step from the form to the formless. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.